So in this video we will learn how to manage the data states for managing the UI states. Suppose you are getting a list of nodes from the Firebase. In order to update the UI, first you will need to show the loader for the user to indicate that there is something coming from the server. Once the data is getting from the server or the Firestore, we will just hide the loader and show the data. If it's in case exception or failure, in that case we can show an error message. So for this purpose, we will need a resource class to manage the data states for UI, managing UI states. So to do that, let's get into the project. I will simply create another package. We will call it util, and I will create a class which will name it UI, or you can name it UI state. Just make that as a seed class. Now we will use covariant out as a t. That means that this class will return only t data type. It will not accept as a input to modify the data. Now we will need three states. One is loading, one is success, and one is failure. To do that, for the loading, I will simply create as an object class, name it loading, and return nothing, because in the loading state we will just show the progress bar to the user. Now the second state is the success. In success, we need to return the data. Data is, as you can see, the data is t data type. It means it's a generic. It can be any type of data. So success out is a t, then data t, UI state t. Third one is failure. In failure, we will simply need as a string which indicates the failure message. Now our resource class is ready to do that. Now how we can use or utilize that class? To do that, I will simply go to the repository class, and there. So in the repository, first I need to change in the interface. I will let UiState node. Now we need to small change in the repository implementation. Node. Suppose you have data from the server and it's fetched successfully. In that case, I will assume that data is not null or empty. If it's null or empty, I will simply pass UI state failure data is empty. Oops, I think we make a mistake. We need to put the data in UI state list node. Now that's correct way. Here we need to change there as well. List node. Okay, what's missing? Yeah, that's fine. So if the data is null or empty, the data we will pass the failure message data is empty. If it's not, else return UI state success and data. Now we need to go to view model, and there we also need to make change. I will change it to the UiState list node. There I will also change UiState list node. I will go to the fragment, and here we also need to make a change. We will use when condition it if the UI state is successful or loading. I will simply use UI state. If it's a loading state, then go there, or if it's a success state, then go there, or if it's a failure state, then go there. I will change that to the state so it will be easy to readable. Let's just do some small testing on it. State not here to string. Loading. So once we call that function, it will initially trigger the loading state. Okay. I will run the application to check if it's working or not. Now we have in the logcat, but the UI state is not work as it was supposed to be. I will rerun again to see that still it's not appearing. As you can see, first we get the loading and then the data. So that was the reason we were not getting initially, because the data were transiting very fastly. Now we get because we put a small delay to it. So that's how the stats are working with the data. Now in case of the error, let me demonstrate to you what will happen if the error occurs. Let's suppose we put an error, just remove that nodes in case. So now the data is empty. I will simply run again. Loading, the data is empty. So this is how the error will also transmit. So in this video we learn how to manage the data stats and also the UI stats.